Hey everybody, welcome back to Money Vikings. Thanks a lot for joining. And I wanted to talk a bit today about the American dream because a lot of people are struggling right now and a lot of people are feeling like, the American dream is going down the toilet. And I can understand the pessimism. I can understand where it's coming from. First, let me say, I love America. I'm so happy to be an American. I love this country. I love the values. I love the way the founding fathers structured things. I think it's all been brilliant. And America for many, many years has had a secret sauce, right? It's had the secret formula, not so secret, but it has had a formula that has worked, right? So it's had a free market capitalist system with some things like Social Security, some safety nets, the rule of law, right? We have a system of the rule of law. We have I know some of you will laugh at this, but we have, somewhat manageable corruption in our system. It's not as corrupt as a lot of other countries. There's much more corrupt countries. Are we perfect? No, there's no perfect system, but all that kind of is managed. You have to have corruption managed pretty well. You have to have free markets. You have to have the ability for people to be entrepreneurial and all that kind of stuff. So I think all that would combine into making the American dream, right? Where you can start a business, go to school, get training, get a job, and from there, be able to afford, and that's the key factor here, but be able to afford a solid middle class life. I think that's what a lot of us really are looking for out of life. I think we want some foundation of healthcare, some basic healthcare, a nice place to live. It doesn't have to be a mansion, doesn't have to be perfect, but a place to live, a place that we own, right? The ability to build a little wealth over time. Maybe the ability to raise and pay for, one or two children, up until adulthood. Living in a safe environment, being safe from crime, being safe from environmental toxins, that kind of thing. Having some kind of job that means something to you. Doesn't have to be the perfect job. I don't know if I believe in the perfect job. I don't think that's really out there, but having some job that has a meaning to you or you're learning from it. And I would say from there, the little extra is that little extra chance, right? And what I mean by that is that it's that little extra money that maybe you can put into an investment vehicle of some kind, or you can save it up and maybe buy a rental property or buy a small business or buy a coffee cart, or a cleaning business or whatever it might be, right? It's that dream, kind of scenario to take yourself to a new level of financial security and resources that you can bring into your life, to have maybe some trips or vacations that you might enjoy, etc. So the issue right now is that we are on a macro level dealing with a ton of stress to this American dream. And, the main culprit is inflation. And that just unfortunately has run out of control for the last couple of years. I get it. The Fed is trying to hit this balance, okay? Because you raise interest rates. Raising interest rates is a tool to, I don't want to use the word crush the economy, but it's a tool to break something, I think, in a way. It's a tool that makes it so that the day before, when interest rates, let's just say when they were at 3.5%, you'd go in and you'd buy a house or a mortgage or a car or whatever. When you jack those up and you double them to 7, people don't buy houses anymore. They slow down on buying the car. It adds up. And then in addition, so it's like a double-edged sword. You have that where they cannot, take out loans to like buy stuff that they want long term. But then for some reason, like the inflation in this country has gone rampant on so many things that we really, really depend on. And it's beyond gas. Food inflation's been awful. If you have children, daycare inflation. So we all know the school loan debacle that people have gotten themselves into where, hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, whatever it might be. So that stuff has really, really been piling on. I think people weathered it for the first like year or two, but I think at this point people are totally, I don't know what the word is, but people are having a hard time weathering it now. I think it's kind of like, it's like, you know, pump up the credit cards, go into debt, blah, blah, blah. That's not the American dream. You know, that's a nightmare, you know, to be in huge amounts of debt and not be able to afford simple things. So that's not good at all. So, you know, Money Vikings, we're trying to think of ways to solve problems and bring the best to you in terms of strategies to build wealth. So a couple of years ago, we started Inflation Defense Systems, IDSs, right? And these were all the little things that we could think of doing to just cut back quickly on expenses. You know, all the subscriptions that we're not using, you know, getting our gas at different places that are less expensive, cutting back on, you know, vacations, cutting back on some certain types of groceries, or maybe cutting back on going out to certain restaurants that are a little on the high end. So we put all these inflation defense systems into place. On the other side, there was buying things like strong dividend aristocrats, where they're paying you a dividend. You're bringing a little more income into your portfolio every month. So that was critical as well. I don't know. That's the first one. I mean, you know, I find the whole thing challenging for many of us that are under the age of probably 55. This is the first time I think we've actually ever really felt inflation or seen it show up in our lives. So it's an eye-opener. I don't know what all the answers are. You know, we're going to continue to do research on that. We're going to continue to think of ideas, you know, establish things in our own lives where we can share those with you. And but I would just say, I mean, for one, we got to really, you know, maybe we need to lower, this sounds bad because it sounds like not the American way, but maybe we need to lower our footprint, our ambitions for the type of house or the type of car or this or that. You know, try to go for some nice things, try to have some nice things, enjoy life. But, you know, maybe you can do a little smaller house. Maybe you can skip on this or that. I don't know. I don't know what all the answers are, but I think we got to pull back because I don't see this getting better anytime soon. In fact, I feel like it's going to get a little worse before it gets better, because they've been trying to go for this soft landing, and the fact of the matter is, it was a really difficult needle to thread from the very beginning. There was some talk a couple months ago that maybe the soft landing was going to happen, where that basically means the economy could stay strong and we could bring down inflation. But it really does seem at this point that something has to get a little bit broken with the economy for the inflation fever to totally break. I guess it's broken from what they say, but things are still elevated. So it sticks. When the prices get real high, it sticks. So anyway, leave in the comments, please, your thoughts. You know, what are you doing? We're trying to bring together all the ideas, the best ideas of things we can do to fight inflation and to build wealth. So what are you thinking? Hey, thanks a lot. Please like and subscribe, do all that great stuff on YouTube, and we'll see you soon. Bye.